One, this happened I think last week. With the Lil Durk thing, we just simply quickly go over it. Like Lil Durk said he loves that India isn't passed around. Meanwhile, he has 4 baby mamas and 7 kids. So what do you think about that? Like, because I see two sides of the conversation, right? Like, first of all, I feel like when they ask you what's something you love about your fiance, and that's the first answer, that's kind of sick. That is kind of sick. 'Cause your first answer could have been a whole bunch of other stuff, but for your first response to be like, oh, because she's not passed around, it's like, dang. Like, are you looking at her just as like a trophy, right? Like, are you looking at her as I got this girl, and I'm one of the few that been in her? Like, that's kind of weird. Like, I feel like to have to as a man to feel that way is kind of weird. So, what do you think? But like I said, I do see another side of it. It's like, a lot of men might just value women more that have respect for themselves. But it's like, but you can't be that messenger. If you was out here, no little bodies and no kids besides the one you have with India, then it would be different, right? But like you got he has 7 kids and 4 baby mamas. It's like, you are passed around, right? How you gonna call somebody say you don't want a girl that's passed around while you pass around? So what you think
Um,
from a man's perspective? Because that's another thing too. Like, why is it that men could be thoughts but women can't? Because it's like how as a man could you be a thought if if there aren't women out there giving it up to you? Like you can't be who you are without a woman. So it's like you expect women to have low body counts, but then you expect to also be a thought. So who's giving you their body
yeah,
if you
it could
want?
just both can be true. Listen, I'm here to mess around on this
And
topic.
no, and I agree with the whole not wifing thoughts thing. If that's your mo, like some guys don't care, like whatever. But I could agree with that's your preference that you want a girl that hasn't been in these streets because one danger too of having a girl that has been around is that you have a lot more people that might be coming at you. You might have a crazy
You in
man from her past that literally might come and kill you.
you inherit beef.
Yeah, and that's not lit. Like that's not a life if you want just a peaceful life and a girl that's like feels more sacred of her body. Like some men like love that. Like women have more respect and sacred for their body. And I won't even say respect because that's kind of like, but just have more sacredness for their body, right? But like I said, you can't say that while also having 4 baby mamas. Like, I think that the people have more so of the issue of who's saying it. Like you have 4 baby mamas and your first baby mama looks disgusting. Like look what you chose. Look who you. Let's use a Pusha T line. Look who you chose as your Beyonce. Look at your baby mama. You seen her Dirk's first baby mama, right?
I don't make disparaging remarks
All right,
against people.
sorry,
You
that's
could get a
me.
car accident and be disfigured tomorrow. You look the same.
All right, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. No, but it's just like the audacity. And this is coming from me, who's me. I'm not no pass around. I'm literally. I don't even care to say this. It's not even a big deal. Like you don't want to my virginity. Yeah, okay, whatever. So I'm not even coming from a place of a girl with a million bodies that's out here like mad. I don't know pass around, but he's the wrong messenger. I'm gonna defend my girls who are out here wanting to be liberated. I'm all for sexual liberation. I'm all for. I mean, it's kind of nasty, but I'm all for just doing you. If you want to be out here jumping around and possibly get babies and inherit beef and get HIV, that's on you. But I'm not judging. But it's just like my issue is more so is who's relaying that message, and I just feel like a lot of men feel like that's their rite of passage in life, right? To sleep around, they feel like that's like a stage that they could have. But then I feel like why is that same grace not extended to women who want to have that period of their life and it might be ready to settle down, one day?
What if that was his past life, and then since India, he feel like he's changed?
Because why can't the woman that you want have a past life too? Why, like I said, why is that same grace not extended to a woman? Like, okay, maybe that was her past. Yeah, she was a past around, whatever, but she doesn't want to be that no more, and I could look past that. Cause like I said, I do feel like there's also another conversation to be had. That I feel like there's possessiveness with men. Like men love to know that their girl is like kind of like desirable, but that no guy will ever be able to experience like her in that way. And I get that because that is kind of like yeah, like this is really like my unique experience. Like no other man will feel what this feels like. I get that.
I'm
But
a,
I feel that same way as a man too. No other woman should be able to feel what this feels like either. I don't want no man that's a thought either. So, I feel on that.
I'm gonna play a clip, and hopefully I can find it of exactly why men don't want women that are like that. Hold up.
But how come I can't have that? Like, how come women can't have the same opinion on men though?
You can, but women just don't care as much. Because if women cared and they emphasize that, then
Yeah, that's true.
these things
It's on
wouldn't
us to
exist.
care. Yeah, 'cause I feel like women don't ask that. Like that stereotype about men asking for body count is usually men asking women. That stereotype about asking body count, I never really heard that conversation about asking a man what his body count is.
Because they don't. Because women don't care. If
It's just
anything,
nasty.
women probably want more of a body count.
Women are weird though, because they'll be the type to be like. I mean, men are like this too. I feel like women will be the type to be like, oh, this girl had him, and now I have him. So now I get to see what that feel like. That what she was feeling. Who's this?
You could keep talking. I'm gonna find the clip. Basically, my perspective on it is, I think even though it is weird, it's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. I think maybe because women are possessive too, but men are extremely possessive. And I think that, like, the clip I'm about to play, or I think this is the one. In a second, we'll explain it, but I want to talk. I don't want to give the audience just a
Yeah.
dead silence. I think it's weird that might be the first thing, but I also do understand it at the same time, because like when you're in a certain industry and you have a certain amount of money and that's all people come at you with, you attract a certain audience. So out of the people that you get DM'd on a daily basis, it's like, how do you filter through the people that are just with you for the money, that have been with everybody in the industry? So I do understand that being, a characteristic, I guess, that
Yeah.
he finds attractive. But
And
it
if you are like the provider in that sense, right? Like he's the money maker. India makes her money, but he's the more of like the person that has to look out for stuff like that, right? Like as like a celebrity, and as the one that's like actually like the one that's famous in the relationship, because India kind of got more relevant because of him. We all could agree on that.
Yeah.
So it's like I get he does have to like watch his back and kind of cover his bases, and he wants to make sure he's not with a girl that's been around that's been trying to hit a lick in the industry.
Yeah. This is why.
Even
right?
though she still could have her intentions.
For context for all our viewers out there, this is a clip from a Martin Lawrence.
Wait, and sorry, not to interrupt, but it's kind of crazy that he did say that about India not being passed around, but she has a whole baby daddy too. I forgot she has another kid. So she got pregnant. Like it's like, maybe she don't got a lot of bodies, but look, she did just let herself get pregnant by some other man, and now she got 2 kids by 2 different men.
This is a clip from Martin Lawrence back, and those of you younger audience, or even an older audience that don't really know who Martin Lawrence was back in the day, Martin was different. He's responsible for like putting on comedy shows where people would come on stage, like Bernie Mac, and a lot of people got their start
He
from
was like what, like
the Def
DJ
Jam.
Khaled of comedy.
Yeah, like I don't know if I would say that, because I feel like that would be a little disrespectful. But he was kind of like, he had such a huge platform, him in movies, and he had the Martin Show, and he was just a superstar black comedian.
His run was crazy.
So he used to put on these shows where you would have to go on there, and it was like a rite of passage. Like people would go on there and get booed off the stage. Like Bernie Mac had to come through there. Like so many different people had.
So it's
to,
kind of like SOBs.
Yeah, basically. So this is a clip. He would do comedy, stand-up stuff. People don't really know him for his stand-up. They know like the Hollywood washed Martin version where he became more cool. But you'll hear quickly in this clip, exactly who he was.
Put it into the mic.
Shout out to MC Light.
He got a tattoo on his chest, got MC Light on this shit.
Yes, he does.
And I used to fuck her.
That's it.
And he got up and walked out.
That's nasty.
He came back though. But stuff like that.
Yeah, that's like, dang.
Stuff like that, it like, and women can say the same thing about men, but men are so prideful and possessive, and that testosterone, it is different. Like he probably wanted to pull out a gun and like probably kill him.
Cause that's sick.
He keeps going. I mean, we keep playing it. But men don't like that.
Believe me, there's a lot of light at the end of that tunnel, boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I
So
get that,
like,
like you said, like it's on women to have that. If you want, like, if you don't want that to be a thing, like women need to have that same respect for themselves too, then, and want a man that's not passed around.
yeah, right. Because like men now will look at this like, all right, well, MC Light been with him and him, like,
Yeah,
and then they will make a decision like, nah, I don't want her. But women, if it was the
it depends on
reverse,
that man though too, because like
men that want the easy.
yeah. But
Easy
then I
way
bring,
up.
I think of like of DDG is like pretty open because of his vlogs. I think about how he said like how he wished his fans would stop judging Ruby because they all were like passed around, like you have to thought, like that was all his comments, like you would have thought you would, you're with the this or that. And he was saying like like her past didn't define her, like he felt like they still had that he still liked her as a person, like she was cool, and like that her passion didn't define her. So some guys really don't care. And for him, he probably felt like it was a win because like she's desirable, and like who knows if she's probably not, obviously not giving up to everybody. So there's probably men in the industry that really want her and haven't got her. So for him, it probably was a flex too. So who knows? Some of that could have been masked by the fact that he felt like he was lit because I got Ruby, like
For sure.
But I don't know. Couldn't yeah, I don't know.
It's the ego thing because you don't want.
But that is nasty though. It's like, yeah, you got Ruby, but think about all the guys that also got her, like Cardi, Ian Connor, like, and some of the stuff I don't know. Like people like to throw bodies on her. That,
Yeah, we can't because none of us were there. We don't really know.
yeah,
But it's an ego thing. Like, and guys are psycho in that way. Like, that's the double standard that for one, men hold women to higher standards than we hold ourselves. Like we'll call ourselves dirty dogs,
Yeah.
nasty. Like we don't.
but women in your eyes are like could be like
It's the-
clean
yeah,
and
it's the-
delicate and
Yeah. Like,
yeah. And me and you had this conversation too. We feel like as a woman, sex is more invasive because you're literally letting somebody like go into you, like that you're physically feeling somebody inside of you. Like that's very like deep. Like as a man, you're kind of just going into something, like. But as a woman, you're literally like someone's coming inside of you, like not literally, like in that sense, but someone's literally like no, but that's like if that's a really crazy way to think of it. Like you're literally like letting someone internally into you. Like this is your body. Like you're letting someone internally go inside of you. As a man, you just have a I was say you have a meat stick. You just have like. This is like an external organ that's going into something, and for me, that doesn't feel as invasive, right? That doesn't like it still could be like and men still get assaulted and stuff, and
No.
it still feels as vulnerable. But as a woman, I feel like it's more vulnerable and more invasive to have like your organ is like your sexual reproduction organ is internal, versus yours majority is external.
it just hits different.
Like your organ, you're literally going.
Okay, we
no,
got
but,
you.
no, I'm
I
saying like that's
understand.
like no, I'm saying, but that's why I feel like as a woman, that in my opinion, sex should be more for women sacred, if that makes sense, because it's like that's your body, like internal.
Picturing your queen getting pounded out is the craziest thing ever. It's literally just the ego thing, like because you can't
sex,
shake that.
and sex as a woman too is more demeaning usually.
Yeah.
And it's more performative. Like men can look, they're kind of there and they just look nasty, but like as a woman, you're the one that's like getting your head smashed into a pillow, like, and you don't want to envision. You don't want to like. I see what you mean. Like now you got to picture that.
Because it happened. Like you had he had put his feet on her head. Like
It's nasty. It's nasty.
like that's your queen. Like come on,
Yeah.
bro. And if it's a bunch of people that did that multiple times, then it's just a bad image. I know that's like misogynistic, sexist, all of that.
Yeah.
I definitely do understand that. But it's just explaining the way the male ego works and whether that's valid or not. I
And
can't
I
be
do
the
agree
judge.
because a lot of women were outraged with what Lil Durk was saying, and it's like, well, it's our fault. We need to put that standard on men too. We
'Cause
need
you
to,
can.
we need to make it a thing then that men should have low body counts too. Like it could then let that be the conversation. Let's make that a movement then. Like, but we like you said, that's never emphasized within our community. Like that's not talked about really. That's never how many bodies how many bodies your boyfriend got. No, but men amongst themselves talk about how many bodies your girl got. Like they'll talk about that probably amongst themselves.
I would hope. I would really hope we're past that, but I know we're not.
We're not. Like,
I know we're
you
not.
would think after the age. That's why Lil Durk's too old. Cause he
People-
was he 26?
bro.
He's still our age. He's like 25,
He's a little bit older. I
like
thought.
26,
27,
27, right?
maybe.
Yeah. Like, come on, you too old. That's your fiance now. We grow up.
We gotta stop talking about body. Well, I mean, we just stop bragging about the people it's like weird. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, people should keep their sexual life private because then this will never be the conversation. If all women just told their man, like, I mean, you shouldn't. I feel like as a man, to asking your woman how or her body count is kind of sick. Like, if word on the street she to pass around, then just go with that. Don't ask her.
I don't even know if I care. Like, I have to really think about this because sometimes I say things and it's just like a passing thought. I don't even know if I care so much about the number. And this is just, don't kill me. Jesus Christ, do not kill me. But it's really matter who it is, right? Like, I need to know.
Yeah, like, who are you giving your body to?
Like, if I'm in a certain area, I need to know if I'm about to get a random fucking pistol put in my face.
And that's the thing too. That's why I was saying, like, I agree with that aspect because men are, like you said, are possessive beings. And there'll be men out there that like go crazy. Once they get a woman, like you hear all these sad stories all the time about the women that get killed, and especially the ones that just try to move on. It's sad. And like now you got, like you said, now you got to inherit that beef.
Let me run down the rest of the list, right? So there's that, right? You need to know if this is a individual that might be violent.
Yeah.
I need to know if they live near me, if I might work with them. Like,
Yeah, right.
The world is small. I need to.
That just sends chills on my spine. Because you never know. Like, and as a woman, this could same thing could be happening. Women are man crazy
For
too.
sure.
It just sends me chills on my spine. That's why, like, I'm good on ever going back out into any type of dating world because it's like, just imagine that. Like, you meet somebody you don't know their history fully. And next thing you know, you got somebody stalking you because some people are crazy. Like people do low level stalking, like stalking the new girl's page, and just being nosy, which there's no harm.
You've seen it.
Yeah, we've seen it. Fake pages, watching the new girl's page. Oh, look at his new girl. Like,
She ain't even.
yeah,
I know.
and that's no harm. But there's a lot of people that take it. There's people that take it a step further. They find out where that girl lives, where she works, who her parents are. They find the girl Facebook. Like, now you weird. Why you on her? Why you on this girl's mom page on Facebook?
That's
and then next thing you know, they know where they work. So now they're sitting outside the job being nosy, and then it gets violent.
That's really it for me. It's one, safety, and then two, it's like I need to be prepared for any sort of energy that might come my way, because if somebody's staring at me in an area, and I don't know why they're staring at me, but there was some history that I'm unfamiliar with, I might take that a certain way.
Yeah.
Not even connecting the dots. I might take that a certain way and just think whatever I want to think, and then whatever I do after that is just gonna be what it is. Like, I need to know to be able to prepare myself to be in a situation where I might be around somebody that might make a slight comment, because guys do that. Like, you just saw Martin. Like, guys will do that because we know that that's like a sore topic. Like, it's like, oh, I hit it,
and you have that leverage.
Like Ray J, I hit it first. Like, that whole concept is
it's just so
male ego in a nutshell. So, long story short, I mean, his preference is his preference. I can.
And India did come to his defense. Was like, this is my fiance. If this is not what you want, then that's. Because at the end of the day, why do we care so much how he feels about his relationship? And if she's fine with it, then she's fine with it. Like, that's them.
I would have went with that with the first thing.
Yeah, like,
and I know that's not what would have been. I'll speak for him. I know that's not the first thing that he cares about, because clearly he cares about.
And now I'm sounding like a hypocrite. I was saying how I went to watch the Kim interview. I didn't watch the interview fully to see actually how.
I didn't see any of it at all.
Yeah. So, yeah. I feel like it's like, I don't know. Like I said, my like final conclusion is like, I kind of said what I said, but if that's their relationship and that works for them, then that works for them, And we shouldn't, at the end of the day, we shouldn't care about, like, we could give our opinions and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's like, that's their relationship. If they're happy, then that's good with them. Like, it's not your relationship. You don't got to deal with, like, people be like, oh, India's wild, and like, cause it is funny if people say like their relationship goals. I'm like, they're not my relationship goals. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a stepmom of 7 kids, but that doesn't affect me. That's not my opinion. But at the end of the day, I'm chilling. I don't got no kids. I'm not a stepmom. I'm chilling. So why am I gonna be so passionate about the topic? And I feel like at the end of the day, that's really all that matters. People be so like bent on the topic. It's like, well, that's not your man. That's what India said. Well, that's my fiance. If you guys are mad at him, but he's not your man. So as long as your man's not saying that, then why are you mad? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. So, yeah.